everybody, what's going on? Eric here. I apologize if I come across as very tired in this video because I am. I attended my third Playlist Live in Washington, D.C. and quite frankly, attending these YouTube events entails pretty much getting no sleep. I was up till like 3 or 4 a.m. but the thing was is I didn't even want to be up this late. My roommates were just very loud and invited people into my room who I did not want to be there, and they were playing loud music and a bunch of loud and annoying memes literally at 3 a.m. So that's why I look dead. Now, as I said, I attended my third Playlist Live in Washington, D.C., and to be completely honest with you, it was kind of disappointing. Now, don't get me wrong, hanging out with my YouTube friends was one of the coolest things ever. Like, I love doing this every year, hanging out with new people, meeting new people. It was just a great experience in that regard. I also was able to catch up with literally the only YouTuber I wanted to see that week, Nathan Zed. He's even checking out my channel, so if you're watching this, Nathan, you're probably not watching this, but if you are, I love you. I don't really know what to say. So I just listed my highlights of the event. There were also a lot of cool stuff that happened, but for the most part, it was kind of a letdown. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So basically in today's video, I'm going to be exposing Playlist Live, but I'm not really exposing them because I'm sure most of you already know this stuff if you've ever been to Playlist Live. So the first part that was kind of disappointing was the guest list. These were the people who Playlist Live paid to come out and, you know, meet their fans. So obviously Playlist is a business. The whole point of a business is to make money. So that's why if you were to look at the featured guest list, it was just a bunch of attractive white boys with Musical.ly following. Obviously, I'm not an attractive white boy or have a Musical.ly following. So obviously I probably will never get invited to this event. To be completely honest with you, the guest list didn't really have any talent on it. There were only a few people I could actually name and recognize who I actually watched, and I spend a lot of time on the internet, so that's obviously a little concerning. You know, honestly, it's whatever, because as I said, Playlist is a business. They're gonna invite the people who are going to make them money, and as I said, the Musical.ly people are going to make them money, so that's why they're going to invite them. That's not my problem here. Like, I get that. I understand that. The problem is that they're inviting problematic creators who are just really bad influences to their fans. Now, I know I'm sounding like a whiny parent here, but just hear me out real quick. Basically, the first night of Playlist, it was Friday. I was hanging out with my friends in their hotel room when I heard a bunch of screaming. But obviously, I'm a very curious person, so I did some Sherlock Holmes stuff up in this joint. And I got up out of my hotel room and we went and explored. So as we were walking over to this room, we could hear some glass shatter, so that's obviously not a very good sign. You could hear people screaming. It smelled like alcohol, smelled like weed. I mean, obviously we weren't really getting good vibes. The door was open, so like people knew what was happening. And if you looked in the room, it was just a bunch of Musical.ly stars. Like, these people were literally invited to Playlist to meet their fans, and here they were partying at night in the open. Like, their fans could literally walk by and see their idols drinking, smoking, you know, doing all this really bad stuff. And the problem is that they weren't really doing a good job of hiding this. Like, the door was literally open. Like, you could see a lot of this stuff go down. These young fans were coming into their room and doing all this like really bad stuff. And obviously Playlist Live is clearly aware of this, because if you check Twitter, literally everyone's tweeting about this. Everybody knows that the creators go out and do this, but Playlist doesn't really care, honestly. One of the Musical.ly kids literally was so drunk that he threw up on the floor. He broke an exit sign. They were just doing a bunch of problematic stuff. Then the next night, a featured creator known as Bryce Hall thought he was so entitled to pee off of a balcony and then run around the lobby shirtless. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. And Playlist banned him, and I applaud them for that, because, you know, he did something that was illegal, and Playlist, you know, they knew they had to ban him. The thing that I didn't understand is why they invited him in the first place, because they knew this guy was problematic. Like, he had been banned from VidCon. He's done some bad stuff in the past, but, you know, he's a Musical.ly star, and he's gonna make us money, so we're gonna invite him anyway, you know. So Playlist knows like all the people they invite, and a lot of these Musical.ly kids don't have the best reputations, and obviously people will be like, oh, you know, they're teenage boys and they're learning. But the thing is if you're a teenage boy and you have this big following, you need to be careful with what you do. If you're doing all of this, you know, risky stuff and all of this bad stuff in front of your audience, like Playlist, you probably shouldn't be inviting these people. And some of the guests that Playlist invites just hang around in their hotel room, completely ignoring their fans. The whole point of Playlist Live is for these creators to come and meet their fans, and the fans to meet the creators. You come to an event to meet your fans, and you don't meet your fans. I don't really understand that. Some of these guests at Playlist Invites will literally go down to the lobby and like take pictures with their fans, which, you know, is good for them, like awesome. But they'll go there and they'll take like a picture for a second and then they'll just walk away. They think that their fans are only worth, you know, like a picture. And their fans only feel like they're worth just a picture. When you have these creators who just go from person to person like each second and not even interact with their fans, it's a little disappointing, to be completely honest with you. Like, you're not a celebrity trying to go shopping on, you know, Hollywood Boulevard. Like, you are a Musical.ly creator who came to an event to meet your fans. The least you could do is actually talk to your fans. Like, it's not that hard of a concept, guys. Now, one circumstance that really rubbed me the wrong way in particular was I was waiting in line for the elevator. I don't know if you've ever been to Playlist Live in DC, but trying to go in the elevator it's very difficult. It's really hard. There's always people in the elevator, it's always crowded, it's always very hectic. So I was right there in front of the elevator, and the elevator was coming down and I was going to get in it, right? I was waiting for like 10 minutes to find an empty elevator, and finally one was here. As I was about to go in there, I see a Musical.ly kid. I'm not gonna name his name because I don't wanna like expose anybody, but I see this kid come in with one of his friends and they say, everybody move out of the way, no, we're coming through, no fans allowed, just give us our own elevator. Now, this guy wasn't a security guard, these were just two creators. And I was thinking to myself, like, how entitled do you think you are that you can just push me out of the way? Because they pushed me out of the way to get into that elevator, and I was like, I've been waiting here for 10 minutes. I know I don't have a very good following on YouTube, but come on, I'm not less than you. And that's the thing, like, Playlist, you control who you invite. Why do you keep inviting people who are rude, who are not nice to their fans, who do bad stuff? And you know about this, but you keep inviting them. I don't understand it. There are so many talented people out there who are not only talented, but also really nice, and you're not inviting them. It just doesn't make sense to me. Next part that was kind of bad was the security. Now, to be completely honest with you, being a security guard probably sucks, especially when you have to deal with all these rowdy teenage girls and these Musical.ly boys. Like, honestly, like, I respect the security guards and what they do because it's not an easy job. And there were some really cool security guards, but then there were also some who were just very rude. And, you know, when you were going through line to go through the metal detector, and, you know, they were just very aggressive. They really weren't nice. Lines were always long, so that probably stressed them out, and they were never really in a good mood. There was never really like, hey, how are you? You know, they never really gave off a good vibe. No, which is fine. You know, as I said, it's probably really stressful, but, you know, the least they could do was like maybe put a smile on their face and try to, you know, take things positively. But obviously they were always pretty negative with how they went about things. And my prediction is that I think this will be the last time that Playlist Live will ever happen in DC and at the Marriott, because, you know, the Marriott's pretty much had enough of Playlist DC at this point. Like, you have kids peeing off balconies, you know, you have kids doing a bunch of stupid stuff in this hotel. They're definitely, like, this is the last one. That's at least what I think. So a new rule at this hotel is that there was actually a curfew of 1 a.m., which I didn't even know you were allowed to do. Like, it's a hotel, you're a guest. I'm pretty sure as long as you're not being disruptive, you're allowed to do whatever you want. But honestly, I do get it, because there are these teenage girls that whenever they see their favorite Musical.ly boy, they'll just start screaming really loudly, and obviously that's going to be disruptive at 1 a.m. So I do get that, but it's also just like, it kind of sucks that it had to come to that point. The thing is if you were caught outside of your hotel room at 1 a.m., the security was really aggressive, and there were several instances where they were physically aggressive with people, and they weren't really the kindest people. Another instance I had with not security, but literally a Playlist Live executive happened on Sunday. We were walking on the 8th floor at Sunday around like 11 a.m. Like, everyone was already up. We were just walking around. This is something that everybody does. They walk around on the hotel floor, find a place to sit because they're like lounge areas. We were just hanging out. We weren't really talking loudly. We were just walking, honestly. So this executive comes up to us, and obviously, like, he's high up in the Playlist rank, and he comes up to us with this, you know, really heavy Russian accent. I can't really do a Russian accent, so I'm not even gonna try. But he comes up to us and he says, "What are you guys doing here?" And my friend says to him, "We're at Playlist Live." Like, I mean, that's what we were doing. We were at Playlist Live. We weren't doing anything wrong. And he's like, yeah, I know you're at Playlist Live, but what are you doing here? And we were like, well, we're walking. We were gonna like visit a friend. You know, we were just walking on the floor. Like, we weren't doing anything wrong. I don't understand. And this guy was very rude. He kept questioning us. And the thing that I didn't understand is that Playlist Live, you know, literally have kids peeing off balconies, underage drinking, you know, vomiting on the floor, and you're concerned about us walking around, minding our own business on a floor where we are allowed to be. And the thing about Playlist Live in Washington, D.C. is that it's very small. There's like an expo hall with like 3 booths and a main stage, and that's pretty much it. There's like a few meet and greets going on. You know, it's really a low-key event, and they have way too much people for the space they have. And also there were people trying to hand me their business cards. Like, honestly, if we talk and you hand me your business card, that's awesome. But there were people just walking around desperately giving out their business cards without even talking to me. Another thing about this event is I was literally walking around with my camera, right? Because I was vlogging some stuff. I might post a vlog later. I got some cool footage. But I was walking around with my camera, and this group of girls come up to me and they're like, "Are you famous?" And I literally said to them, I'm like, I'm a scrawny white boy. I have acne, I'm not really attractive, like obviously I'm not famous. And then when I told them how many subscribers I had, I was like, yeah, I have like, you know, 1.6K. They were like, oh, yeah, that's not that bad. So obviously there are a lot of people who just want to find famous people to take pictures with them and be like, oh, I met this person, without knowing who they actually are. So overall, I mean, Playlist from an organization standpoint and the people who go to Playlist, like, it's not the best thing ever. But even after all this being said, I'll probably go again, either like Orlando or DC. Why? Because I'm a hypocrite and I want to meet up with my friends. I mean, honestly. But that's pretty much it. If you went to Playlist Live and you have any crazy stories, please leave them down below. If we met at Playlist Live, like I met a lot of new people, leave a comment down below. Like, let's hook up. Give me your Twitter or something. I don't know. Like, if we met, just let me know. Also, here's today's post notification shout out. All you gotta do to be the post notification shout out is turn my post notifications on and let me know. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like. There will be more content coming from Playlist Live. I filmed collabs with my friends that will be on their channels. If you have anything you want to comment, if you went and you want to share your opinions, please leave your opinions down below and I'll make sure to respond to pretty much every comment. I appreciate everybody for watching and I will see you next time. I really gotta go because I have school tomorrow. Yeah. Oh shoot, I have a quiz tomorrow I gotta study for too. Well, yeah. School just started. I can start taking L's, I guess.